Okay. Order, you lot. Welcome, everybody. We'd like to acknowledge this land that we meet on today is the traditional lands for the Gawler people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Gawler people as the custodians of the Greater Adelaide region, and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still as important to the living Gawler people today. Now, I believe we have only one apology from Councillor Samble, so that's good, isn't it? I know that he's not here. I mean, we've only got one apology. Are there any motions to grant leave of absence? Anybody? No? Wants leave of absence? No, no leave of absence, and no non-attendance. Okay. Are there any declarations of interest regarding any of the agenda? All right, would someone like to move the confirmation of the last meeting's minutes? Helen, seconded by Paul. Any discussion or questions on those minutes? If not, those in favour, please show. Against? Carried. Is there any business arriving from the minutes that's not in the agenda currently that anyone wants to raise? No? Okay, well, we'll go to 6.1. Would you like to introduce this for us, Jacinta? Thank you.
Thank you. Through the Chair, the committee will see that in this report I was asked to provide a report on deaccessioning, but I wanted to give the committee as much information as possible to aid you in the decision around that, which is why I got the quotes for the conservation, because I know that there will be people in the community and potentially committee members who are interested in what that cost would be, so I thought that would aid you in that decision making. There's, as you can see from the report, it's a substantial cost to repair the Steinway piano. You'll also note that we have tried integrating our Beckstein into programs with the community that were free of charge, and while we had some initial success, it petered out over time. So we as a staff don't believe there is a call for the Steinway piano to be available to be played by community members or visiting performers. So the information is in the report, so if the committee has any particular questions or if you'd just like to discuss the report.
Thank you, Jacinta. Helen.
Yeah, thank you. I noticed on page 5 of 26, under the motion, we did thank Steve Kaesler, Paul Barnett, Shane Bailey and Michael Chnaworth, who came back to us quite a while now, 5 years ago, and gave us their opinion. Have we been able to make contact with them to alert them to this report?
So through the Chair, I was able to make contact with Mr Shane Bailey, who responded and he responded back.
Any other questions or discussions on this item? No? Okay. Would someone like to move the acceptance? Adrian, did you want to speak? Yes. Sorry.
I was waiting to see if anyone else wanted to say anything, but it's just that I had a thought, which was that I've been and seen the piano, and it has a brass plaque on the front which sort of tells you how it came into the collection and mentions Flo Barnett. And I know it's not anything that you could really, you could really tell someone to do, but I just wonder whether it might be worth thinking about some way of at least preserving that bit of the piano's history. Yeah, I don't know whether if someone doesn't want to pay all that money and have a Steinway that says Town of Gawler, blah, 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 for all to see, whether it could be tucked away inside the piano even, but just at least think about that.
So leave it with piano or retain it into the collection? Is that which way?
It would be good. Well, it would be good if it could remain on the piano as part of the piano, which it is. But if they don't want it, certainly have the plate in the collection.
Anyone else that wants to speak? Helen?
Yeah, sorry, the second time. Listen, I think we have talked and thought about this a long time. For me, it was more than 20 years ago that I first became involved with the Steinway piano when it was dragged out from underneath the stage, and the old Institute Committee people showed me the situation. I actually think we're to the point now of having to make that hard decision, and I think we have done some decisions about deacquisitioning before, but I think given everything we've been presented here, the costs, the fact that there isn't demonstrated community demand for a piano, either, to play. There isn't also, and I've done quite a bit of asking around, community interest in donating towards this item. I think, and as we always would do, is that we need to record carefully the item, the history behind it, and then I think we need to let it go and use the money to look after other priorities in the collection. Like all archives and museums, you can't keep everything. We're not going to be able to persuade the council, I can tell you, in the current financial situation, and even in the long-term financial plan, there's far too many other priorities than this. I think it's a case that we need to let this go and then use the money carefully and thoughtfully for others as well. And as I say, that's my question about whether we retain the plaque or not, because I think it is an important part of the history, particularly Flo Barnett's, but it isn't. We wouldn't hang on to it, especially as it is deteriorating and has deteriorated, simply for that reason alone. So I would be in support of the motion.
Helen, can I just ask a question from the chair? Have you got a recommendation about that plaque?
I guess I'd take advice perhaps from Jacinta about how she might suggest.
Thank you. Through the chair, so the offers to purchase the piano are as it is, and we have to respect that. Now, I've had very good conversations with both companies, and I'm quite sure that we could have that conversation. Are they intending to leave it with the piano? I am certainly hoping they're intending to alert the purchaser of the piano of its history and all the documentation that's available to them. I'm hoping they'll provide us with some images of it fully restored, again, to finish out the story. And so I can ask them if they're intending to take that plaque off and simply sell it as a Steinway Model D, then I'm sure they'd be quite happy to send it back to us. But if they say that they made us an offer based on that piano as it is, then I think we have to respect that too.
Thank you. Helen.
So I don't think it needs a particular motion. I think that on that information, we leave it in the hands of staff to follow that through.
Yeah, I suppose I just wanted to sort of get people thinking about that, the plaque, and it would be lovely if it could stay with the piano because it is a part of the piano, so yes.
Any other discussion or questions on this item? Would someone like to move the recommendation? Yes, Karen, seconded by Deb. All right, those in favour please show. Against, carried. Pardon? Yes, unanimous, yes. Sure.
I guess, sorry, coming in a bit late, we would need to think about, well, this will get presented to council, but we would need to think about a bit of a communication to alert the community of our decision, or council's decision, I suspect. Yes. I just flagged that. Hence my earlier question about getting back in contact with the four gentlemen who'd come to us with their opinions. Thank you.
Yeah, just reading it, I'm just wondering, although it's too late now, should that have been in confidence, considering it had commercial rates in there?
Through the chair, no, it doesn't need to be in confidence. Those are the offers received as would normal quoting processes, etc. They're very open and honest that these are public information and reporting, so it wasn't a problem. It's not like we're going to market to seek someone to pay for works, etc. through a tender process. It's quite different in that regard, so no problems. Yes, yep.
Moving on, 7.1. Would you like to speak to this one, please. Natasha.
Thank you, through the chair. As mentioned at the December meeting, the terms of reference for the Heritage Collection Committee were updated at the end of November by Council, so that the Gawler Heritage Collection Committee had some additional authority to determine requests and other matters relating to the collection in accordance with the Heritage Collection Policy, so that these requests, for example, permissions to publish, do not need to go to council. They can be done at a committee level. So really this report is presenting that, giving you that information and update, just so that you have it in front of you, and also then updating you in terms of the independent members of the committee, and that we have 3 memberships that are due to expire on the 23rd of May 2025. And that we will be undertaking an expression of interest process, and giving you a bit of a timeline and an outline of what that process entails. A report will be presented to council for that decision once the process is complete, so that way then a decision can be made and then a new committee can be formed.
Thank you, Natasha. Any discussion or questions? Helen.
Just a comment. I actually think it's a very positive move that the terms of reference have changed, and I think it reflects council's confidence in this committee that you know, they've given back more authority to the committee. I think we started off like anything, you know, that's new, running things past so that we could make sure that what we were attempting to do was very transparent. But now, many years down the track, can't remember how many, but many years down the track, I think we've matured both as a group, committee group, and council's trust in what we're trying to achieve. So I think it's a very positive. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Anyone else? No? No further discussion? No? Okay. Would someone like to move that way, please? Karen, and seconded by Helen. Those in favour, please show. Against, carried. Thank you. Seven 7.2, collection inquiries. Jacinta, would you like to?
So thank you. Through the chair, this is our quarterly inquiries report. I would like to bring to attention of the committee the fact that the visitor numbers to the research centre are 45% higher than for the same period last year. So our growth trajectory for visitors to the centre continues to be very strong.
That's wonderful.
Any particular reason, do you think? Can you put a reason to that?
So through the chair, anecdotally, we have increasing numbers of community members who have their particular interests and passion, spending time researching those in the community. We certainly have an increase in people doing family histories and house histories, which warms my heart that the people who buy the historic properties in Gawler are really interested to understand more about the people who've lived in them before them. So yes, I think it's a multifactorial thing. You'll see that they are coming from interstate to do their family history, which is always very interesting when they're telling us that and making those connections. And they'll often tell us, you know, that they're coming for a day or two to stay in Gawler. They're going to the cemetery. They're looking at where the property was. When they come in, they say, you know, this is great-great-grandmother. We can often find out where the property was. They can go and have a look and a walk around and spend some time. So I think it's those three factors: an increase in house histories, an increase in family history, and also community members, as I say, who have got their areas of interest. It might be the service clubs that they've been involved with. It might be their sporting clubs, those sorts of things. We've got people with reunions who like to go back through old bunyips and find photographs of their school classes and things like that. So it's a varied group of people who are spending time in the research centre.
That's great. Thanks, Jacinta. So, any questions, discussion? No? I don't think we have to do anything. It's just noted. Oh, we do have to move it. Okay. Would someone like to move that then, please? Deb, seconded by Karen. Okay, no further discussion. Those in favour, please show. Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 7.3, budget. Natasha.
Thank you. Through the chair, this is the budget report to the end of December, so we're halfway through the financial year. However, in the heritage area, and this budget particularly, the majority of the spending does happen in the second half of the financial year, so there is minimal spending so far, and obviously with the exhibition, that spending is really in that second half of the year, with minimal spent so far just for the deposit, a large deposit paid. I guess to note as well, just had a look today through the volunteer hours, and the hours have actually increased 117 hours when compared to the same period last year, which I was really, that was really surprising, and obviously we continue to be grateful for their contribution, but that's just incredible as well. So particularly with what's happening with volunteering in the community and the state and nationally, keeps surprising us, so we're very grateful.
Thank you, Natasha. Helen.
It doesn't surprise me. I think the way you manage volunteers, the amount of work that you provide in supporting them and allowing them to do what they best use their skills, and I think thanks should go to the staff, all staff at all levels, for enabling that to happen. And I think what's happened is that, again, word of mouth, is that you can make a useful contribution and be valued. And I think that is the trick to 21st century volunteering.
Yep. Any other questions, comments? No? No? All right. So would someone like to move the acceptance of that report, please? Alan, and seconded by Adrian. Thank you. Those in favour, please show. Against? Carried. Thanks, everyone. Right, items listed for discussion. We've got 4 of them. Jacinta?
Thank you. Through the chair, we discussed at the previous meeting the committee coming at the end of the meeting and having a look through the storage areas, and we've certainly got some time today if you'd like to do that. And also I thought I might give a verbal update on the History Festival events if the committee would be happy with that. So the Cultural Heritage Centre has a number of events registered for the History Festival this year. We'll have the exhibition opening on the May the 7th. We're running guided tours every week on the exhibition after that. We have a paleontologist, Dr. Aaron Kamens from Flinders University, coming on a Sunday afternoon to talk about diprotodons. We've got... Every time I say that word, I get it wrong. Yes, we'll be talking about megafauna.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Jacinta, what Sunday was that?
I might send an email out to the committee with all of the relevant dates for our events. I think that would be helpful for your diaries. We've got Ella Kelty, who's leading the archaeology team at Pioneer Park Excavations. She'll be talking on that project and what we've been undertaking there. We've also got a very special screening, I should say, of a film, Layla Dreamtime. Denise Schumann's organised. This is a documentary that was made in the early 1970s from an Aboriginal tribe in Western Australia. It's rarely seen. It's a very moving and important film, so that will be something special. So we've got that happening as well. So we've got quite a lot happening. We've also got Civic Centre guided tours. We've got Visitor Information Centre tours. It's going to be a jam-packed calendar of events for Gawler, as is often every year. It's growing every year. I'm working with the community to finalise our Gawler calendar of events. So the registration's finished on Sunday, so people are feeding their information through to me, so soon we'll be able to do that. So I think we're looking forward to an exciting May, and a busy one in Gawler.
Indeed, thank you very much. Any other discussion or questions about either, you know, the History Festival or any of the other items there, 9.1 to 9.4? Deb?
Through the chair, if it's okay, I would like to update the committee on these developments with the Heritage Symposium. So we have decided on the date, which is going to be Friday the 26th of September. We have confirmed 4 speakers, and they are all members of ICOMUS, the International Council of Museums and Sites. We have had ICOMUS subsequently come to us and offer to partner with us, and in doing that would promote the event on a regular basis until it occurs throughout the nation and the state. We've also had SA Heritage approach us with an interest in participating in some form, either as a partner and or having speakers involved, and also promoting. I think that was about it for now. Yep.
Thank you, Deb. Any questions or discussion in relation to Deb's? Gosh, it's exciting, so much happening. Thanks very much. So nobody wants to raise any issues here under of those other items, no? All right. Questions without notice? Are there any questions without notice? No? Or motions without notice? No. All right, I'll close the meeting, and I hope you enjoy your chicken chips, chicken salt chips or whatever.